Media a short while ago as well. Well, we're now learning that the ED has now taken custody of Sanjay Chhabria, the promoter of the Radius Group, for the next 7 days. Do remember that Chhabria was earlier arrested by the CBI in connection with the Yes Bank-DHFL case on the 28th of April. So Sanjay Chhabria has now been sent to the ED's custody. This, of course, was approved by a special court under the PMLA on Tuesday, which had granted permission to the ED to take custody of Sanjay Chhabria, who was the promoter of the Radius Group. Let me go across to Shavan for more details on this. Shavan, tell us more.
Well, in fact, Nupur, he was arrested by the Central Bureau of Investigation in April. Now his custody has been taken by the Enforcement Directorate. Remember, Sanjay Chhabria happens to be the director of the Radius Estate and Developers Private Limited, as well as Raghulila Builders Private Limited. Now he's been arrested in the DHFL Yes Bank fraud case. Primarily, the allegation against him is of duping Yes Bank of nearly 122 crore rupees. He's taken long-term loans, and there was an overdraft facility from the Yes Bank, and he has defaulted on the repayment. In fact, both the agencies, the Enforcement Directorate as well as CBI, is facing this on the bank's internal inquiry, which had essentially revealed that he had diverted these funds, utilized them for other purposes, rather than what they were essentially availed for. In fact, not just the central agencies, in fact, even Mumbai police had filed an FIR against him. The Economic Offences Wing is already investigating multiple fraud cases on the complaints of the bank. And remember, based on that, even the Mumbai police have begun a case against him. The first case essentially is embezzlement of funds through an overdraft facility, causing a loss of about 30 crore rupees to Yes Bank. And then there are others also in terms of borrowings that he has taken from the DHFL. Now, this comes on an interesting day, Nupur, because Avinash Bhosale, Pune-based builder, is also in the custody of the Central Bureau of Investigation, and he will be produced before the special CBI court today for further custody. And in fact, he was following Sanjay Chhabria's questioning that was done by the Central Bureau of Investigation. That is also going to be linked today once Avinash Bhosale is produced before the court in Mumbai.
All right. So, Shavan, as you're pointing out, of course, now we understand that the ED, has so far said that a money trail of about 2,000 crore rupees is there, which clearly indicates that the money was granted by Yes Bank was not utilized for the purposes for which it was granted. Okay, I don't think we've got Shavan. Yes, Shavan, please go ahead.
Well, as far as the Enforcement Directorate is concerned, remember, there have been multiple charge sheets that have already been filed in the DHFL case, particularly against Rana Kapoor and his family members. But what is interesting here is that the Yes Bank scam, the ambit of it widened. They are looking at multiple other companies which have actually got loans and which have essentially turned into bad loans. And these companies have effectively helped Rana Kapoor in some way or the other. They are looking at how these companies were floated, money was diverted. Eventually, the money that was they had taken as loan from the bank was not utilized for the same very purpose that they had sought for. So all that put together, what we are given to understand, Nupur, in the days to come, following the questioning of Avinash Bhosale at the Central Bureau of Investigation, and now Sanjay Chhabria, the Enforcement Directorate's custody, you, in all likelihood, will come across more names in this entire scam, which is only now being further probed by both the agencies.
Absolutely. So as you're pointing out, perhaps after this custody that has been granted for about 7 days to the ED, we could see the widening of this investigation?
Well, in fact, Nupur, yes, there is absolutely no doubt about the fact that the investigation, the scope of the investigation is only increasing by every passing day. And with Avinash Bhosale being questioned, remember, he is one of the most prominent builders in Maharashtra with, deep connections is what we are given to understand. And in fact, it was certainly a huge task for the Central Bureau of Investigation also to get his custody. The man was actually called in for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate also last year, but he was in place under arrest this was finally done by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Now, the reason why in the days to come you would look at more summons to be sent out by the Enforcement Directorate as well as the Central Bureau of Investigation is because they believe that they have got fresh evidence in this entire case. And the number of builders, or for that matter, number of companies that have actually got loans from Yes Bank and have never repaid, they have now once again come under the scanner of both the agencies. And it turns out that both the agencies are now working in tandem as far as the DHFL case is concerned.
All right, Shavan Sen reporting on that. Thank you for joining us.